Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Spark, and thank you for all the support. You guys have been absolutely amazing following me over on Twitter and helping me share and hit like and all that stuff. You guys are absolutely a part of this movement, and I'm simply helping out, and I appreciate you guys carrying me on the wave. It's awesome. And here is why. There's a lot of stuff we can talk about and have fun and joke around, and we're definitely going to do that. All the cool stuff that happens in this incredible ecosystem really is just limitless. And we can talk about trading and driving Hummers and Lambos and all that good stuff, and we will. But there's a much, much bigger picture sometimes that has to be unraveled so that people understand when they're coming into this space and they get information here how big it really is. And here's a good example in just a second, but let me ask you a question. What happens when you walk into a casino and you decide to gamble? You have to turn in your money and you get casino chips. Now, when you are done, what happens with the casino chips? You have to turn them back over, hopefully, if you have any left, to get your money back. You don't set the rules. The rules are set by the casino. The odds are already there. And bottom line is you choose to play. But ultimately what happens after that with your fiat currency is not of your choice. It's the decision of your government, which has said this is by decree what we consider useful for taxes and all the purchases and agreements and services and everything that goes with it. What is the difference between the fiat currency and Bitcoin? And here's where the radical difference, that profound change, that split down the middle, makes all of the difference. Bitcoin is worse than casinos, says Russia's economic development minister. As Russia prepares regulation for cryptocurrencies, one Russian official has said investments in Bitcoin is worse than playing casinos. Now, those of you that are already thinking the percentages up and down, all that stuff is good and that's all important because you should get to choose how you want to spend your money or gamble it away or throw it down the toilet if you choose. Because as an individual human, that's just part of your basic human right. But diverting away from that, protecting people, and trying to show them that you have their best interest in heart is the essence of collectivism and centralized power. Last week, an elite meeting of Russian financial officials and regulators convened with Russian President Vladimir Putin. I've already mentioned this and talked about it in a video or two over the last couple of weeks. And they had this whole discussion with central banks about whether it was something that they could work with or not work with. And Putin had a pretty thorough idea of it being really something to be careful of, trying to help the people and protection. And on the other side, this thing is big and the governments are actually accepting it and you cannot ignore it. It is what it is. And bottom line is Putin was kind of a little bit more open-minded than the central banks. Now, who knows who's in charge there, what's really happening. But this was an interesting kind of debate back and forth. And now we get little nuggets that are coming out. Days later, Russia's finance minister Anton Siluanov revealed the meeting, attended by central bank governor Elvira Nabiullina, deputy governor Olga Skorobogatova, and several other ones from FinTech, and they talked about it basically. They were talking about, or he called for an authoritarian control over decentralized cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin in the country. Didn't say to get rid of them, didn't say to outlaw them, said strong regulation and complete authoritarian control by the government, period. End of story. To be clear, Russia isn't banning cryptocurrencies, keeping Bitcoin away from the people. And this is where it gets really important. And knowing the difference makes all the difference. Make sure you share this video if somebody doesn't quite understand it, because this is where it makes it a much bigger movement, not just buying the house and the Lambo and the place on the beach. All that's fun, but let's keep going. As for Bitcoin, if you look at how the value of this asset fluctuates, as if that's the importance, but it's not. I know most of you are probably going, but it is to me. Look at this. I'm rolling it. This is incredible. I'm getting going here. This is exciting. Yeah, there's much more to it. It's dozens of percent up and dozens of a percent down. An asset that can be available for an unqualified investor should not have such characteristics because it's worse than casinos. First you earn, then you will lose everything and be left with nothing. That's a distraction. And he's talking to a group of youths in this case. It's the World Festival of Youth and Students in the Russian city of Sochi. Now here's the thing. Thinking that it's just an asset class that you're trying to invest in and catch like winnings and try to get it back somehow if you're losing, misses the entire point of Bitcoin entirely. Now, I know a lot of you are like, no, don't go down that road. I just want to talk about how many Lambos I'm going to get. And should I get white or black or red? Should be a Ferrari, what? Now, here's the key. It's the control. A casino is just chips, which in this case, highly regulated by the government, setting out the statistics of whether you win or you don't win. And ultimately, you're playing a game for entertainment. And if you think it's more than that, well, that's a different situation. But you don't have control of the chips. So the key here is you do not have control. It's a centralized power telling you what you can do and you get to do with these chips. But if you ever want to take those chips and interact in the rest of society in any way, shape, or form, you have to turn them back in, and to turn them back into the government-controlled entity. Now, obviously, many of you are saying, but that's kind of the same right now with Bitcoin. You have to turn them back in. But that's not the goal. That's not the potential. The potential is for you to decide what you want to do with it without somebody telling you what to do. That is the big picture. If you get that, you get it. And definitely give me a thumbs up if you get it. Here's a great answer to it. Rubbish, plain and simple. He's spewing the same lame arguments of money laundering and tax evasion, everything fiat currency is used for, and without much of a trace. He says nothing about the blockchain, the real value of cryptocurrencies. I love this comment. This is another weak attempt to instill fear, uncertainty, and doubt by saying that the Russian government should be the only ones handling your crypto investments. Nothing about how gold and silver are slammed down every day of the week for years. Now, that's not just the Russians, but we're just talking about them here. That's every centralized, big, huge central bank funded government in the world. Okay, let's get back to the fun stuff. All these other videos, got to talk about them, of course. Get into the trading, the highs, the lows, and all that cool stuff. But if you understand what I just said in this video, make sure you go below and you either put up a thumbs up for like, or you say thumbs up or something that says, I understand the big picture. And for those of you that are coming into the space, I know it's supposed to be fun and exciting and all that, and it will. But you need to hear the facts and the truth so you see the biggest vision so it doesn't get hijacked. All right, guys, that is your Crypto Spark for now.